But for now, everybody, let's continue on. Before we actually move on, I do want to take a look because we are going to have some contract extensions to worry about. I wanted to take a look. Actually, we did already take a look at how our team was doing. There was something else I wanted to look at. I just don't remember what the hell it was. I mean, we did look beforehand. I think we're good to move on and try to get our players signed here. So for the White Sox, really need to lock down Richard Rosa here. There we go. Richard, welcome aboard. Josh Carlisle, can I please get you signed? Yes, I can. And Johan Angelis declines because, of course, he did. Still going to work on the other two. But that's okay. I'm down to just needing to sign 3 players. For you guys, Del Harrell, let's see if he will accept. There you go, Del Harrell. Hopefully the catcher for you guys in the future has signed. Rafael Mendoza has signed. So you're down to just 2 players left. Yamashita and Shelley that have to sign. So we're both looking pretty good here with a lot of time to go. As I get a trade offer from the Reds, and I'm going to immediately decline it because it's a garbage offer. Let's take a look here in terms of signing picks. Nothing I can do, nothing you can do for this week. For me, Johan, would you like to sign, please? Still no. Herman. Signs. Okay. It's not looking too bad then. Let's keep it going. Another day to sign picks. Johan. Please accept. Johan, you're killing me. You are killing me. You're probably not even going to be that good. Let's see. For Chats Rockies. Yamashita has signed. You were down to 1 player left. Might as well just offer him all the bonus allotment. Still declined, so you are going to have to work on him a little bit. I cannot believe a guy that was projected to not be drafted just declined that offer. You do get a trade offer from the Blue Jays. Trevor Richards for Antonio Senzatella. Yes, Senzatella's making an absurd amount of money. Trevor Richards' deal's up at the end of the year. There is no reason to not get rid of Antonio Senzatella here. $10 million salary. What a terrible contract. So, I mean, that's an automatic yes. That's a great deal for you guys to be able to clear out cap for nothing. Blue Jays offered you another deal. This time it's Brendan Rodgers, your second baseman, for left fielder Davis Schneider. Now, here's the thing. You don't have another second baseman right now. Waluigi's a long shot to make it. Schneider's not bad in left, but you do have Yanquiel Fernandez. You have Fernandez in left, Doyle in center, and Nolan Jones in right. Well, unfortunately for you, Jordan Beck dropped to C potential from B. So, do we have to put this to a vote? If it was me, I'd probably say no. Just because Brendan Rodgers is a good filler player for now. All right, looks like we don't have to throw it to a vote. All right, let's see. Here's the day to sign draft picks. See if we can lock down your final player here. There you go. So another year where you guys have signed all of your prospects. For me, I still have random negotiations to work with. Johan, you're insane. I'm about to not give you a deal. Geronimo is looking pretty fucking good, though, and he signs. So I'm down to 1 player left who's just being a total pain in the ass. I get a trade offer from the White Sox, or from the White Sox, from the Tigers, I should say. But it's for Jefferson Quero, which, no. That is a no. I get a trade offer from the Mets, Drew Thorpe, who is my best pitcher for JT Realmuto. That is a no. See if I can finally sign my last guy just because I need... He's going to suck. But I just need bodies on this team. So, there we go. We have signed all of our drafted players. I get a trade offer from Cleveland. Center fielder Samuel Zavala for Anthony Desclafani. That's going to be an absolute no. Get another trade offer, this time from the Braves. No, I do not want Chris Sale. Get another trade offer from the Phillies. No, I do not want John Means. You guys get a trade offer from the Cubs. Starting pitcher, Rule 5 pickup, Austin Cox. For catcher, Miguel Amaya. Honestly, because of Sam Huff earlier, I don't think you need him. I mean, Huff can play first. Not that you need a first baseman, because Manzardo can't play anywhere else. I mean, Amaya ends up being like third string catcher. Personally, I wouldn't do it. That said, though, I mean, Austin Cox has been terrible. So even though you might want a body as a starting pitcher, we'll throw it up to a vote. I think there's arguments for both. There's arguments for either side. We'll throw it up to a vote here, chat. Do you take this deal, Austin Cox from Miguel Amaya? It's not going to be a deal that breaks the bank. So, you want to give Chris Sale his White Sox return? Not for my best prospect. Not for one of my better prospects. I didn't. We got a catcher in the draft. That's true. That's true. What's Jack going to go with here? It is a close one. Again, Amaya can play first and catcher. He is improving as well. And again, Austin Cox has been bad. Not horrific. He's been bad. You would have a lot of contract control for him for years to come, though. Looks like it's going to go through Miguel Amaya for Austin Cox. Done deal. And there we go. So we're past the deadline. Let's take a look at our draft picks. We'll start off with chat. Del Harrell is solid. 62 overall at 18 years old is really good. Only a B potential. Solid. Not a cornerstone of a franchise, but solid. Rafael Mendoza. Not bad. He will be a major league option. He is 22. If he was 18, he'd be insane. That's a solid pick. For a second rounder, that's a pretty damn solid pick, especially a mostly blind pick. William Yamashita is only a C potential. However, that overall and age combination is really good. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. He'll be a solid depth option, maybe make the team. He'll be a major leaguer as well. It is true that his durability is not too great. Frank Estrada, long shot to make the majors, unfortunately. 49 overall is a killer. It's not a good pick for Estrada. William Yamamoto is even worse. Yamamoto is horrific. A 50 overall at 23 years old. So, two rough reliever picks. Nate Haney is okay. For how late you got him in the draft, he's okay. Only a C potential, but a 57 overall at 18 years old, that's not too bad. And RD is about the same. Literally just one overall point worse. So at least Haney and Shelley ended up being usable down the road. It's going to take a while, but they'll be usable. So overall, not the craziest draft in the world, but not absolutely abysmal. For the White Sox, I had a hunch that Rosa was going to disappoint me. He will be a major leaguer, but only a 67 overall at 23 years old. I was hoping he'd at least be over a 70. It's a little bit rough. That's a little bit rough. I had a hunch it was going to be, but I didn't want to risk it with such a high pick. So I tried to go for the sure thing. He sure is a starting pitcher. Adrian Herman is solid. Solid. 65 overall at 18 years old. Only a C potential. He'll be an all right reliever for me. The closer, Rafael Geronimo. 78 overall at 22 years old. B potential. I needed that. I needed that. Whew. Josh Carlisle. You guys were worried about passing on him. You made the right choice. Only a 56 overall at 21 years old, so nothing too special. He might end up being like a 6'7" kind of guy in the future. It'll take him a while. Wes Brown is absolutely tragic. I went for a risk at first base. Didn't work. Wes Brown is tragic. Carlos Ballesteros was a blind pick. A 55 overall at 21 years old. It's going to take him a long time to make it. He should eventually be a major leaguer, but he'll be approaching 30. Johan Angeles is trash, as I thought he might be. And that's my draft. So overall, I think we both did okay. Neither one of us landed the like slam dunk franchise cornerstone pick. But that's all right. That's all right. Unfortunately, though, I mean, for how high up we've been drafting, you would hope we would have gotten somebody like that, but hasn't happened yet. To take a look elsewhere, Cleveland. Solid pick for Griffith. And Fuqua ended up being awesome. 68 overall at 18 years old. Also ended up with David Perez. Detroit, Richard Shin. 66 at 22 is not that bad. They didn't end up with a single player as a B potential. Pablo Sanchez was a 42 overall. Yeah, those first basemen sucked this year. Kansas City took Rex Villanueva. You could certainly do worse in the first round because Kansas City did. Wow. Yep, our draft class both look immediately better in the aftermath of looking at Kansas City. Todd William, 75 overall at 18 years old. Holy hell. Incredible pick. That's probably the best player we've seen yet. Wow. He also ended up with Giancarlo Castillo, 61 over. Man, Minnesota. Between Castillo and William. Tremendous draft. Houston. Nobody crazy. The Angels, Ron Gutierrez. Good pick. Rich Chavis. Good pick. Two good starters on their way to the Angels. The Athletics did not come to terms with the first overall pick. The number 1 overall pick did not sign with Oakland. That's insane. That is insane. It's realistic. It can happen. But man, you still don't expect to see that in a video game. Wow. Monroe would technically be in free agency, yes. Neither of us are allowed to... Well, if he's in the free agent period, we're allowed to sign him. If he doesn't show up until spring training, we're not. Seattle. Decent pick with Daryl Kazarian. Nobody else that crazy of a potential. Solomon Dwyer, solid pick. Henry Lantigua, solid pick. And Carrara, so a couple decent picks there for Texas. Atlanta, solid pick with Singleton. Solid pick with Timmy Clem. Too low of an overall for Lopez. Too low of an overall for Chris Scruggs. Miami, Damian Vaughn. Now the catcher you guys had on the board, you were right to not take him. Adrian Santiago is tremendous. Nick Worth. Saw him mentioned in chat a few times. Nick Worth. Tremendous pick that we both passed on. Damn. That would have been a game changer for either of us. The Mets. Whew. Third baseman, Dino Cordero. Tremendous pickup for the Mets. They also land center fielder Mariano Soriano. Solid. Solid for the Mets. Phillies get closer Giancarlo Ibar. Well, I was tempted to take third overall, but I didn't. Great pick. They also land Antoine Smith. Overall's a bit low. The second overall pick, Robert Bolich. 75 overall at 21 years old. 99 potential for Robert Bolich. The Athletics didn't sign their guy, and the Nationals got this guy at 2. And I was absolutely looking at him if he fell to 3, but he didn't. That is a near generational shortstop. He's got some work to do with the plate, but that's a damn good pick. The Cubs, Angelo Madrid, solid, very solid. Freddie Simmons overall is a little bit low. Juan Leon, solid. And Ibarra, his overall is too low for his age. His overall is way too low for his age. For Cincy, Cortez is okay. No other B potentials. Felipe Alicio would have sucked. For Milwaukee, David Morton, solid. Ishii is solid too, even though he's a C. Solomon Garrison, very good. Milwaukee got some good depth. No superstars, but Milwaukee got some good depth in that draft. Pittsburgh did not sign their first rounder. They do get Alejandro Navarro, who's okay. Wow, poor Pittsburgh. St. Louis. His overall is a bit low, but that's okay. Good C potential guy there in Rivero. Barnett. Decent draft for St. Louis. Arizona, Curtis Mackey is okay. Abraham Lozano, low overall. Johnny Vina, overall is super low. 44. Of course, we already know about the Rockies. For the Dodgers, Joe Motion. Not that good. Not a good draft, really, for the Dodgers at all. Can we see the overall, the first pick? We cannot, because he did not sign with the team. San Diego, nobody with a B potential or higher. San Fran, oh my God. Not often you see an F potential. Jesse Ramirez. Wow. Baltimore, solid pick with Will Loftus. Okay pick with Lenny Keough. Boston, Kenny Branham. Should have fucking taken Kenny Branham. Victor Marin's okay. Dan Sams, okay. Great name, Dan Sams. Then Blake Thomas, also okay. Yankees, John Luis. It's okay. No other B potential guys. Tampa, not a good first rounder. Dan Sines is okay as a second rounder. Solid pick in Brian O'Hara. Wow. 59 overall at 18 years old, A potential. Good pick for O'Hara and Tampa. Toronto, a lot of B's. Good pick in Sewell. Solid pick in Bruno. Franco's overall is a bit low, but he's young. And Mendoza's overall is low, but he's also young. So, interesting. So there we go. That was the draft this year. I think we both, again, did pretty solid work in the grand scheme of things. Now, in terms of contract extensions, we need to look on both sides. Actually, we'll go for the Rockies first. So for you guys, Sam Huff at catcher, who you acquired earlier this year. He's been solid. He's been solid. There's really no reason to not re-sign him as an option while you build up other younger guys. No reason to not sign him. The 4-year deal, you can keep him in the minors if you need to. Yeah, if he accepts 2.6, that's not bad at all. He does want a little bit more. There you go. Miguel Amaya. Again, we know he was 26 at this point. Hasn't played in the majors for you guys, but he was doing well in his limited appearances with the Cubs. It's also worth keeping him. I mean, a 2-year renewable deal, $1.1 million. Good deal to keep him. Willie McIver. Honestly, for AAA depth, he's worth keeping. He's worth keeping for AAA depth. You're not giving him a major deal. He's on a AAA level deal. Matt Rankin, you let go of. Kyle Manzardo, who you acquired via trade, $1.2 million, 3 years renewable deal. That's a good deal for Manzardo. Third base, Alvin Knight. Obviously, you can just let go of him. Tovar is an obvious keep. 3 years at 3.4. Very good deal for him. Nolan Jones. Makes sense to sign him. 3 years at $4.2 million is an absolute steal. Try to trade him after that. This is an absolute steal. 3 years, dirt cheap. And then after that, he's going to want a big boy contract. But you could trade him. You could decide to trade him in that time. That's a great contract. That is a great contract to keep him with. I get the idea. There's no reason to do a club. I mean, yeah, you could do a club option, I suppose. That's true. In terms of there being like, oh, no reason to do whatever. It's like, there's really no reason to, I mean, you could try to get the extra draft picks, right? Like you qualify him as he heads into free agency and you try to get the extra picks. That is the other option. I don't think that's worth the risk. At least not right now. Any disagreement about signing him? I mean, it is true, the club option. I mean, if it works, I'm blanking right now. If it works the way catcher wants it to work, then it's fine. Can we go long term? It's not worth signing him long term right now. For the $25 million. I mean, you could argue, hey, sign him 10 years now at $24 million because you might have to pay him $30 million in the future. But you also don't know if you're going to want to keep him because he has struggled this year compared to what he was capable of doing. Are we sending this through? It looks like it. There you go. Nolan Jones is back. In terms of relievers, obviously you got to keep Trevor Richards around. No reason not to. And honestly, you can overpay him. He represents, you need a body. So there you go. Honestly, same for Jake Bird. You just need bodies in the bullpen right now. That's what it comes down to. And then Herman Marquez. Honestly, again, is worth keeping. He hasn't been that great this year, but you need bodies on the roster. We both do. So overpaying him is not a big deal. You'll still have plenty of money to spend or not. How wouldn't you be able to afford it? Why is the max offer 1.8? That doesn't make sense. Well, he might not be able to keep German Marquez. That doesn't make sense, though, based on the freaking money that we're handing out. What? Ah. Yeah, you're still paying Chris Bryant $26 million. That would do it. That would do it. Well, German Marquez might be leaving. The alternative would be to give Marquez. You can't you can't even get rid of him right now. So that's that. For the White Sox, Colson Montgomery, I obviously need to keep, and I will keep him for dirt cheap for now. Yoan Moncada, I need bodies. Same thing. I don't know if I'm going to re-sign him right now. Gustavo Castillo can obviously go. Brooks Baldwin. Again, I need bodies. Prieto. I need people to actually play on this team. Lamont Wade. It's going to be another one who's a bit difficult to afford. Max Stassi. Nick Nastrini. Chris Bryant was on the trade block this year and last year. Nobody's wanted him so far. Eric Fedde. That is insane. How much fucking money you want? I'm not going to worry about him. Moncada. How much money would I have to pay Moncada? Fuck's sake. Well, I guess I'm going to commit to Yoan Moncada for a while. Like I said, I need somebody there. 5-year deal brings him to 34. Instead of paying him $9 million, I'll be paying him like $5. $5.5. All right. I'm gonna have to overpay for Lamont Wade as well. But again, I have no choice. As we've learned, you gotta make sure that you keep people around. I'm sure you would like a longer contract, Max. Son of a bitch. Give me a club option. There we go. And even Eric Fedde, I'm going to have to overpay for this son of a bitch. Are you kidding me? You think you're worth more. You know what? Just for saying that, I'm not sending you an offer. There you go. So let's continue on. I can't believe he just said he thought he was worth more than that. Let's continue on here. And we will see how the rest of the season goes for our two clubs as we head into September. Auto-fix both rosters. So the Rockies at 55 and 83. You guys are the second worst team in the National League. You're 2 games up. Technically a game and a half up on Milwaukee. For me, I'm at 44 and 94. Easily the worst team in the American League and easily the worst team in baseball right now. So we'll see how many more games you guys win down the stretch. Of course, you want to finish bottom 3 to have those top lottery odds. Of course, our minor league ball clubs are going to be terrible across the board. So the White Sox finish at 50 and 112. The Rockies at 66 and 96. As we come to the end of the season, you guys finished with the second worst record in the National League, 66 wins. You guys will not have top 3 lottery odds. You guys had a better record than Oakland, than the Angels, than Milwaukee. That is surprising to see you guys get that amount of wins. As we got to look at the playoffs, wild card on the AL side, Texas and Seattle, Minnesota, Detroit, with Houston and the New York Yankees as the top two. And then on the other side, Atlanta and the LA Dodgers. You got St. Louis and Chicago, with Philly and Arizona getting the automatic buys. Let us take a look at the stats here for the end of the season. Looking at your Rockies first. German Marquez won the most amount of games with 12. Honestly, your top three pitchers weren't that bad. Given the circumstances, they really weren't that bad. Complete game shutout for Marquez this season as well. Buehler, you could argue, through FIP was the best pitcher overall. Starters weren't that bad. In terms of relievers, oof. Never good to see two relievers with over a 5. Lot of innings for these relievers as well. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at how many relievers had blown saves this year. Whew. Yeah, John Curtis, Jalen Beeks, both with a sub-4 FIP. That's not too bad. And then Matt Koch ended up being the closer. In name only. Had 3 saves this year. 12 holds, 3 blown saves. Yeah, he was tragic. For the catchers, Sam Huff and Miguel Amaya, both acquired mid-season. Both not great at the plate. Best way to put it. First base, Kyle Manzardo finished the year with 23 home runs, 728 OPS. That was a pretty good pickup for you guys to get Manzardo. I think he could be a nice long-term solution for you at first base. Brendan Rodgers, 24 dingers this year. Solid. Solid for Rodgers. I think you made the right choice to not trade him. Third base, Ryan McMahon, 18 home runs, 58 RBIs. Also okay. He was okay. Shortstop, Tovar. Not so hot at the plate, but he is a great fielder. So, it was okay. Only 30 walks, though, to 118 strikeouts. Yanquiel Fernandez ended up getting 22 games through September. He was really solid. Again, you traded away the other guy to get Manzardo, and Fernandez looks like he's really going to be something for you guys. In center, Brenton Doyle, who is horrific at the plate, continues to be horrific at the plate. He is just solely on your team for absolutely outstanding defense. Like, this is a Gold Glove winner. Legitimately, he won the Gold Glove this year. You can forgive the fact that he sucks at the plate because he is a Gold Glove winning center fielder. So, no real issue with him being in the 9 spot. And then Charlie Blackmon. Oh my God, did Charlie Blackmon outperform Nolan Jones? No, but it was much closer than it should have been. Jones now up to a 93, but he had an off year. 127 strikeouts. Off year indeed for Nolan Jones. For the White Sox, this is going to be miserable to see what the hell this looks like. 9 wins for Nick Nastrini. Jairo Iriarte, who was called up in September, had my lowest ERA on the team. Even Drew Thorpe got the September call-up, and he was terrible. Yeah, my pitching sucked as suspected. I don't even need to look at the relievers to know that they sucked. Although Dwayne Underwood did make the All-Star game, even though he only pitched 25 innings. Max Stassi, 19 home runs. Stassi was actually pretty good. Jefferson, a home run, RBI, and 20 at-bats. Lamont Wade, I desperately needed a first baseman. He's a first baseman, all right. He'll do. Brooks Baldwin had 11 home runs. Pretty shit at the plate, though, but he is defense first. Moncada, who, again, I just needed a freaking warm body to play third. He was okay. He's just an average player. Colson Montgomery. Awful at the plate. Still young, he's getting better, but he was awful at the plate. Eloy Jimenez, only 9 home runs. Come on, man. 729 OPS. Luis Robert, 37 home runs, 94 RBIs. We would have won like 12 games if I didn't have Luis Robert. And then Gavin Sheets and Dominic Fletcher. Both okay. Sheets was obviously better. So yeah, as expected, our stats were terrible. Updated look, by the way, at the top prospects. James McDonald is now number 1, with Jackson Holiday having graduated. Andreas Olivo is now 7, and you guys have Amador at 14. But I was intrigued to see how the list updated. And yeah, James McDonald for the Angels is now the number 1 prospect in baseball, the Canadian. Let's take a look at the awards. Juan Soto, in his first season on Oakland, he wins MVP. Neither of us went after him to sign him. 54 home runs, 134 RBIs. Again, he's on a backloaded deal too. Jesus Christ, that is like neither one of us wanted to sign him too early to make our teams too good. But Oakland's laughing right now. NL MVP Corbin Carroll outduels Shohei and Pete Alonso, of course, now on the Cardinals. So Corbin Carroll, holy hell, up to a 97. Great contract. He's going to continue to be a scary, scary threat for the D-backs. AL Cy Young goes to Luis Castillo. Oh, the Mariners. The idiots traded Castillo to Houston in the offseason, and he goes on to win the Cy Young over Garrett Cole and Tariq Skubal. Back-to-back Cy Youngs. I don't know what the hell the Mariners were thinking in this reality. NL Cy Young winner Tyler Glasnow. Not really surprising. Although, let's be honest, looks like at first glance, Zach Wheeler or Zach Gallen would have been more deserving. Would have been back-to-back for Gallen, too. Batting title in the AL goes to Kyle Tucker with a 329 average. And on the NL side, Freddie Freeman with a 328. Over Ketel Marte. And the rookie, Phil Hancock. Taken in last year's draft. Almost won a batting title. Reliever of the year, Detroit's Jason Foley. 50 saves, only 30 strikeouts. How the hell? I get the ERA differential, but Jesus Christ, how don't you give that to Brian Abreu? This is Foley's baby boy. NL side, Camilo Doval wins it for the Cubs over Andres Munoz and Paul Sewald. That one's a bit more understandable. Doval looked insane. Rookie of the year on the American League side, no surprise, Jackson Holiday over Fernando Valdez and Prelander Berroa with a 6.23 ERA, baby.
I'm just
That's right.
walk through this fucking grass.
Shout out to Mox for the follow. Welcome in. Appreciate you. On the NL side, Phil Hancock did win it for the Nats. Robert Hassell was up there, as was Drew Gilbert. And then obviously Hank Aaron Award winner Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani. No surprise. Again, we're not typically worried about gold gloves or anything like that. However, we do know that you guys had a gold glove winner in center field, as did I. Luis Robert and Brenton Doyle. Both winning gold gloves this year. Fair enough. Dominic Fletcher almost won one in right. How do you like that? So let's find out then. Our seasons are done. The big question now, who's going to win it all this year? Texas over Seattle, Detroit over Minnesota, Dodgers over Atlanta, and St. Louis over Chicago. We go through the next round. It is Houston over Texas. Detroit to the ALCS. Dodgers absolutely wiped the floor with Philly. And St. Louis goes back to the NLCS for the second year in a row. Oh, game 6 on one side, game 7 on the other. Houston and Los Angeles both survive game 7s. Astros going for the repeat. The Dodgers trying to take it away. Baseball is dead. Baseball is dead. God, the fact they added Luis Castillo in the offseason. It's gross. What a team. Holy hell. And of course, the Dodgers. Of course, they added Tanner Scott, who won reliever of the year last year with the Marlins. It's just 2 super teams, man. 2 super teams. Who's going to win it? The Los Angeles Dodgers stop the repeat and defeat the Astros in the 2025 World Series in 5 games. MH, what's going on? We're doing streamer versus chat. I'm in control of the White Sox. Chat's in control of the Rockies. 2 seasons down. We both absolutely suck. But by design, we took the 2 worst teams in the game. Don't ask me how Oakland was in bottom 2, by the way. I don't know. World Series MVP, Randall Grichuk. Oh, it's tremendous. Blue Jays legend, Randall Grichuk. You'd love to see it. You'd love to see it. I mean, let's be honest. It's how often is it the biggest name on the team? It's often a Randall. I mean, Jesus Christ. As a Red Sox fan, all I have to say is Steve Pearce, you know? So, but there we go. Season 2 in the books. We have an off season to go through. This will be interesting in terms of retired players. I lose a couple of randos that I had signed. You guys also lose a couple of randos. Nothing. Brainer Bonacci. And he's real. Oh, not Dick Fitz. Yeah, okay, we're done. We're done. I'm never playing this game again. Dick Fitz retired. Life isn't worth living. It's just not worth it anymore. Ah, Strasburg retired too. Thor's gone. You Darvish. Any Hall of Famers this year? Max Scherzer. Over 3,000 innings and over 3,000 strikeouts. Max Scherzer to the Hall of Fame. We'll see what happens here in this offseason. I'm very intrigued to see what these teams end up looking like moving forward. But Dick Fitz, we'll miss you.